What's up, everybody? It's your host of Connecting the Dots podcast, Kymmy Coco. Me, Dom, and Jay Black would like to welcome you to our first episode that we have recorded in quite some time. So, we are just filling our way back in. So much has been going on in our personal lives. So much has been going on in the world. So we're just going to get right into it, y'all, because we haven't been here in a while. And you know me, I could talk all day. So, what's up, Dom?
What's going on, Kymmy?
What's up, Jay Black? I missed y'all. This is our, go-to, talk to. This is my get out time. And I've been so stuck, y'all, moving, y'all. Everybody has moved. You know how much of a hassle it is. I'm just a single person. I moved from, a loft apartment into a townhouse, and you would think that that's us. I have so much shit, so I can just imagine people that have been living somewhere 10, 20 years when it's time to move. And I'm trying my hardest to change it to a minimalist. So I'm not buying any clothes, I'm not buying any shoes until the shit I have has holes in it or something, because I'm just not gonna be the person that has a pack a whole bunch of stuff every time I move somewhere. Yeah. You've been house hunting. You're a newlywed still. You're still. Yeah. So how's everything going with you? Good?
Everything's good. They said life is busy. It's always something to do. So,
right.
We have
adulting.
Yeah, adulting is real. That's something they don't tell you. When we're young, we want to grow up so quick. Then you get here and it's man, I want to go back.
Jay Black, what's up with you?
Man, I'm just working, finishing the year strong.
Yeah.
Getting ready for next year. Me, everything is work for me.
Yeah, Jay Black is a work type person.
I ain't got no,
we ain't got to worry about Jay Black.
Kids,
right, you living the life.
So it's just, I'm just trying to plant seeds.
You living the life.
That's what you're supposed to do, man. Yeah. Jay Black, he living his life right, man. The time comes for everything that you want, man. As a young man, hey, keep that free life.
I had another birthday come and go.
Yeah, Kim, happy birthday.
Thank you.
There's so much going on.
Winter season for Kim, new house, birthday.
I know it.
So yeah, that's what's up.
Oh yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah. And so Atlanta, here we are celebrating our new mayor.
Yes, we do have a new mayor.
Andre Dickens.
Yes, that's the man right now.
I always looked for him.
Dre, we got a mayor named Dre.
We got a mayor named Dre. They had some good memes going on. Congratulations, Andre Dickens. Hopefully, we can come across you and your campaign and have you on and talk about the future of Atlanta and what's going on. He beat Felicia Moore.
Yes.
Some shit came out about Felicia Moore running her campaign.
Not only did he beat her pretty substantially.
Yeah, 60 to 30 something, 64% to 30 something. Yeah. So he won by a landslide, and Felicia Moore started blaming T.I. and Isaac Hayes III for losing. Now, what was that all about?
So, of course, it's politics. It can get a little bit messy.
Yeah.
People going back and forth, but and of course the race for Atlanta mayor is always a bit heated in some kind of way, but earlier in the race there were rumors that Felicia Moore was going to shut down strip clubs and studios or make sure that it was super hard for new ones to be open. You had to get permits and different things like that. And of course, with Atlanta being a city full of creatives, literally creators make the city run. Mm-hmm. Of course, there was going to be some backlash, and a few people spoke up. T.I. and a few other people, of course, because this is what they do.
Right.
And ideally, that was only one point of the mayoral election. A lot of other stuff happened, so I think most people just thought that it was really ironic that that's what she pointed out as to the reason that she lost. It's not even like it was close. She lost by a lot. So, to pick that one thing out as, this is what went wrong, I think that's what most people were pretty shocked by. And, of course, they all responded.
and so, from what I saw, even Keisha Lance Bottoms came out and had receipts on all the stuff that she voted no on, that Felicia Moore voted no on, which is things that really brings money to the city. Mm-hmm. Entertainment brings money to the city of Atlanta.
Right.
And from the track record, Felicia Moore voted no on all. That was the All-Star Game.
Yeah, you can go back and look at all the records, and see. And so it really wasn't even much she could say, to defend herself, because it wasn't really even lying. They just really pulled out facts.
I knew she was. I knew she was desperate. So it's this event on Mondays called with the Coalition DJs they throw. Of course, the Coalition DJs they work in the strip clubs.
Yeah.
So they throw a Monday showcase where artists come perform, get critiques for their music.
Yeah.
Right. It was like before the runoff election or whatever. She was up there speaking to them, trying to plead her case, like, no, I'm not up here to, shut down the strip clubs and all this and that. And I'm like, now she being desperate.
Right.
It's like, that wasn't, if that was something that you was sincere about, like, you should have.
It wouldn't have gotten this far.
Yeah. You should have did that before the runoff.
Right.
The thing with her and T.I. was a while. I remember when that happened. That was way before the election.
That was a while ago, yeah.
So if you was genuine about that, you would have went out and reached out to them people before you was desperate, before you really needed these people. So that was another thing that was a red flag to me, like, you reaching right now.
And then you look at where she lost, like, of course she won where we expected her to win, the Buckheads, the, North Atlanta type of areas, but, she didn't even show up to the debate in Southwest Atlanta, and, I bet she wished that she did now.
Yeah, because she was leaning on the Buckhead residents and the police and what have you to boost her voting.
Yeah, and you can see the distinct line in, if you look at the voter.
I saw that. Isaac Hayes III did put that out.
Yeah, so it's kind of like once you look at all the facts together, like it does kind of make her look a little bit sour. And she basically told T.I. to stay out of politics.
That was like, that sounded very... Yeah, for her, like, that was another thing that kind of was a red flag. Like, after she lost, of course, it was after she lost. But the way she was attacking them, like, it's like, okay, you still a politician.
At the end of the day, you still
think about if you would have got in office. You still this person, but your true colors came out after you lost, and you was, it's just like, okay, it's a good thing you didn't get in the office.
And it must be said that, like, once again, not to start any rumors, but, like, if you just put two and two together, and this is pretty much what T.I. was getting at. The person who, came out and made the allegations against him is a heavy Felicia Moore supporter.
Oh, those sexual assault allegations? Wow. I remember that.
And so basically what she was saying was, T.I., you remember what happened last time when you got in politics. So it's kind of like she basically admitted to being a part of that whole allegation thing.
Because if you guys remember, T.I. actually worked for Keisha Lance Bottoms. He was on a committee. He and Killer Mike. Remember when she first got elected?
I remember when they put
them
together.
on that committee together, and she put them on there. So he is involved in politics, whether you want him to be or not. He's a business owner. He's a philanthropist. He's built homes for people and helped out a lot of folks. So you can't tell T.I. not to be involved in politics.
The comment really just reeked of like, what old girl told LeBron, like, shut up and dribble.
Right. Like, that's what it sounded like.
Yeah, so it made her look real, especially in a city like this in Atlanta. It's kind of like, one, just putting it out there, like this, Atlanta is notoriously known as a chocolate city. Like, so for her to look like us and to say something like that, we beg people to get involved in politics and to vote and things like that. And for her to be a politician saying, like, you need to stay out of politics, like,
that she just showed who she was. And it just proved that what everybody was saying about her was right. Well, here's some facts about Atlanta's new mayor. He'll be the 61st mayor. Andre Dickens. He's a city council member. He's an advocate. While in council, Dickens championed affordable housing policies like requiring affordable units along the Beltline. He's an engineer. He studied chemical engineering at Georgia Tech and worked as an engineer for more than a decade. He's also a deacon at New Horizon Baptist Church. He teaches Sunday school. He's a business owner. He was raised in Adamsville. He graduated from Mays High School. He lives in Collier Heights. He's the first mayor who's lived inside the 285 belt loop, the 285 loop, since Shirley Franklin. He's a father of one 16-year-old daughter. He shares custody with his ex-wife, and they have Taco Tuesdays together. He's buds and classmates far back as middle school described the mayor-elect as funny, loyal, intellectually curious, and genuine. He's also a podcaster, y'all. About 10 years ago, he co-founded an internet radio talk show called 3 Degrees of Separation about the connection people share and hosted about... he hosted a segment about faith. So yeah, he's visited 6 continents. He listens to Outkast before he does forums. So we love Andre Dickens. He's good for Atlanta.
Yeah,
Also,
really.
another super duper excited to announce, and you guys know how stressed that I have been wondering. Stacey is running for governor of Georgia.
Stacey Abrams is
Yes,
running for governor.
there's not been another Democrat to announce. So as it stands right now, the Republican ticket is split between Governor Brian Kemp and that other dude,
Vernon Jones.
And if you all remember, the old president called him, the governor right now, and he asked him to turn over the election results. After he also called, the Secretary of State,
Brad
Raffensperger. And so Trump supporters who lead the Republican Party right now, and I was watching some political commentary this morning, and Marjorie Taylor Greene, who is she's also here from Georgia. She's saying that this Trumpian conservative, right wing, racist troll QAnon sector is actually the core of the Republican Party. They're not the fringe; they are the core.
Yeah.
So the traditional Republicans that might have voted for Brian Kemp are now, the only base that he has, because the QAnon, Marjorie Taylor Greene, racist, supporting the twice impeached, brought up on sexual allegation, pornography charges, those Republicans are going to vote for Vernon Jones because Brian Kemp did not do what Trump asked him to do, as they all do.
Right.
So the Republican ticket is split. The Democratic, I don't know a Democrat that would be bold, wasting enough money to go against Stacey Abrams.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there will be one. There's always one. And even if a Republican has to pay somebody to split the Democratic ticket, because right now it's a clear-cut victory for Stacey, we'll have to see, because Brian Kemp is not beyond cheating. We know that.
Yeah.
Vernon Jones has the QAnon supporters, the new Republican Party behind him. So it'll be very interesting, and we will keep up with it. So what do you guys think? I mean, I think everybody should,
I think that
support in some kind of way.
I think that, of course, we all know how last governor's election went here in Georgia. So I think this is going to be, once again, a all eyes on Georgia type of thing. With the Republican Party in the state that it is in, I think Brian Kemp does have something to worry about. Of course, I think, all views are mine and mine alone. They don't represent the podcast. But I personally think that Vernon Jones is an idiot. I
do too.
We know the position that he's in. And that's what makes me think that Trump, who has already interfered a little bit and has already told people Brian Kemp's an idiot, don't vote for him. He's been saying that. As the time grows near for the election, that's only going to get stronger and stronger and stronger. And we already know that Trump has his following here heavy in Georgia. But that's what makes me think that Sonny Perdue is really going to run on the Republican side to give a really adequate option outside of Brian Kemp. So I wouldn't be surprised. I've been hearing rumors that Sonny Perdue, is going to run. So we'll see. And like I said, I think that the Democrats already know that Stacey Abrams is their best bet for winning and having power here in Georgia, just to be frank. So I think the Republicans, I think they're running scared a little bit right now. It's a lot of questions they have to answer on how they're going to respond to,
everything that's been going on.
How she put out what she just basically said she was running. She
that's
put out
it.
Her campaign, what she's.
How much does she have to?
What was her first What was she standing on at first? What was her first campaign?
Expanding Medicaid, affordable housing. Basically everything that we look for her to do. You know, she had, I can go back and look, but I'm not going to say that she's diverted far away from her 2018 campaign strategy or issues.
And we got to be realistic about like who Stacey Abrams is here in Georgia now. She's I think the last election she did a lot of groundwork. She's a rock star now.
Yeah, and and that was a close election.
It was
real close. Like it wasn't like she was.
It was close, and then technically they cheated. Like you know what I'm saying. Yeah. Depending on how you want to look at it. So I think that's why they're so afraid to see her again, because they know that
she's powerful. Yeah, she's raised
powerful,
a lot of money, and she's gotten a lot. I mean, her alone changed the landscape of voting in Georgia, or just Democratic voters and even Republican voters, because how many people registered to vote based?
Yeah, because she did a lot during the election. Right. Not even necessarily her, but I remember
she didn't stop. Yeah, she kept working.
Season. Yeah, and that kind of helped build her profile or whatever.
And I think whereas Republicans here in Georgia have notoriously been able to bank on people just not voting, now that Stacey Abrams has had such a hand in mobilizing voters and doing exactly what they don't want to happen, which is once again inspire people to vote and inspire people to get involved in politics.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think that's what really scares them, because they know she has an army behind her in that arena, and she's not only, it's not just for the election. Like the people that have lived here in Georgia, like we've literally seen firsthand the work that she's done to, you know what I'm saying, kind of connect the dots to, you know, be where she is right now.
Was she behind the initiative to start getting the stadiums, like open up the vote, you know, making the stadiums voting polls?
Yeah, so I think that shout out to LeBron James also.
He
a bunch of NBA players. Trae Young was a part of that.
You know what I'm saying, working hand in hand with people like Trae Young and stuff like that. Of course, I think she definitely helped inspire, you know, a lot of those people to look at Georgia and, you know, make sure we can vote at State Farm Arena and
any venues that are easily accessible via MARTA.
Because of course, just being honest, we've heard the horror stories of voting in Atlanta, people, you know, being in line for hours and
for them shutting down locations that are in rural areas. She really got out to rural Georgia and registered a lot of people to vote. She was recently on the Rachel Maddow show on MSNBC, and she said, "I believe we have the capacity to be an extraordinary place for families to grow, for people to succeed and thrive. And I think we have a failed leader," referencing the current Governor Brian Kemp, "who is currently occupying the office." She said, "My mission is service. To serve people, you have to care about them. You have to care about all of them. I've shown that in 3 years since the last election. I've spent my time doing what I can do to serve Georgia." Abrams then pointed to her work in expanding access to COVID-19 vaccines, relieving the medical debt of roughly 108,000 people in Georgia, Arizona, Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama, as well as aiding in sending goods to food banks. "I've tried in every way possible to serve the people of Georgia, but the best way to serve Georgia, in my estimation, is to run for governor and to take that job and do with it what we can. This is serve every Georgian and create one Georgia." In 2018, Stacey Abrams became the first black female nominee from a major party to run for governor in U.S. history. In 2018, if you remember, Brian Kemp, who was the Secretary of State while also running for governor, ran close with Abrams in the polls through the entire race. In the end, he narrowly defeated Stacey Abrams by a 50.2 to a 48.8 margin, approximately 1.4 percentage points. So,
and that was like during that time, we still had the issues with the voting machines going out. Remember that was a whole thing?
Yeah, and the Russia hacking thing that started here. We already had that going on here before they took it nationally. And I'm starting to see, and I say this all the time, whether it's the Congress or the Senate, the state legislature, hackers, whatever you want to try in the country, first they try it in the South. The whole thing with the abortion thing that's going on in Mississippi, they're trying to set a precedent for the entire country. They've taken it all the way to the Supreme Court. The whole thing with the voting machines and the da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, that all started here. They had a whole thing write up about it. Google it today if you want to read about it. It's worth reading about because it could happen to your state too. Yeah. Kennesaw State University voting machines, they found out that they were being hacked. They also found out that Brian Kemp and his campaign were covering it up. The governor, the federal government asked if they could step in to investigate to help him, and he told them no. So what was he hiding? What didn't he want them to know?
Yeah. And I'll say, once again, these are facts. You can go look all this stuff up. Like,
right.
You know, it's not like we not telling y'all this just to tell y'all this. So, you know.
And it's amazing to me how Brad Raffensperger, he's also a Republican, and he's a staunch Republican because even though those people threatened to kill him because he didn't overturn the election, he stayed true to his job. I'm not going to big him up too much because now all those voting laws that they passed to try to prevent voter fraud when there was no voter fraud, he's been 100% behind that.
Mm-hmm. He's been very quiet.
So he's also up for re-election. And I personally would not vote for him, although he did stand by what he was supposed to do when he did it. Like, you don't get a prize for doing what you're supposed to do.
He basically was put in a rock and a hard place.
But now he's been behind those voting laws, and if you see now he's running a campaign already. They got commercials on TV. We've got new voting machines, and we've got new. Now you have to send a copy of your ID.
Secure elections.
Secure elections. They were always secure. Georgia has one of the most secure elections in the history of voting. Mm-hmm. So you can't take credit for that and also back the law.
Right.
If your boss comes and tells you did a great job on your report, you know what? We're gonna change the way we do the report. Like, you can't get credit for both. Mm-hmm. So Georgia. Big win. I'm not telling you who to vote for, but she's also running for Secretary of State. So look up her campaign and see what she's about. I'm letting you know there's other options out there. She does great work right now with the state in the state. Google her, read about her. She's wonderful.
We in the politics realm. We almost a year in on the presidential campaign, or the president election. What's y'all feelings about Joe Biden and Kamala? How y'all feel like they done to this point? Mm-hmm. And then I know once we was gone, Kamala, she was president for a minute, wasn't she?
I mean, on paper, because the president, whenever the sitting president has to go under general anesthesia, he has to submit his power to the next person, just temporarily until he comes to, because at that point he can't run the country, obviously, if he's under anesthesia. Mm-hmm. So he had his routine colonoscopy, and he had to go under general anesthesia. So for about an hour or so, she was the president.
Mm-hmm. So what's y'all feeling so far though? Like, what do y'all feel about the job they've done so far?
Considering the shit that they came into, I don't really feel good or bad. I just feel like they're doing what they got to do. I don't feel like
you think it's more of a cleanup year. The first year is more cleanup.
I think it's a cleanup year because if you look at the issues. Okay, so for example, my pressing issue that I really was concerned about over the last 2 years is COVID. Mm-hmm. When they took over from the other president's administration with COVID, if you guys remember, they would not do a transition. Mm-hmm. They gave them absolutely no information. As a matter of fact, they were trying to hide shit.
They literally had to come in and build.
They had to literally come in and research, start from scratch, like with no history, no data, to try to find out what's going on. And they took off and they ran with it and they got it under control. So for that, I'm going to give them a thumbs up. Immigration was also brought up as an issue. Some of the immigration issues that people were brought up were a fucking lie. Let's just be honest. The immigration issues that with the Mexican border, some of those laws that Trump passed, Biden, the first day he was there, he vetoed them. Mm-hmm. But he had to go back and fix some more because the judges were involved. So, for example, like the return to Mexico policy, right? Mm-hmm. So if you came to seek asylum here, you could stay here until your paperwork was approved, right? Mm-hmm. Trump made it so that you couldn't stay here. You had to stay there. And after you were approved, you could come. Yeah. Well, when Biden first got elected, he removed that. So you can stay here while your paperwork is being... Well, a federal judge ruled that, no, you can't do that. So now he's going to have to go back and reverse it. You see what I'm saying? So he's still, like we said, a cleanup mission. As far as Kamala is concerned, I mean, what does the vice president really do?
Right.
What vice president do you remember, like...
My thing is more so, like, again, I'm looking in regards to black people. I don't feel like nothing specifically has been done for black people. I could be missing it, because I ain't going to say I'm the one that's searching through everything. Yeah. You know, I'm a headline type person when it comes to that. I can admit to that. So I haven't seen anything they done for black people. But it's like they just talk about how important we are in every election. They talk about how important
because
we are,
vote.
And we show up and we get these people in, but it's like no
with the deciding
urgency.
Factor. Like, you know, we're not the majority, but we're the deciding vote.
And there's no urgency when it comes to helping us. So I was just, I just wanted to see what the temperature was with everybody, how they feel about them. Like I said, I can't give an educated opinion, like I say, because I don't really research it, but I don't feel like they've been helping us as much.
I think that I have a different perspective in the sense of, and not to sound like a Debbie Downer, but I don't expect much from America in general. I think no matter who's been president, no matter what's been happening in this country, I think the message of how this country feels about black people as a whole is set in stone. So for me, I get out of the mindset of expectation in the sense of, I know we're gonna have to figure this out no matter what.
The savior, looking for a savior, basically.
And I'm not saying that's a fair position to be in, but I got to the point to where I'd rather depend on myself than it. Now, I'm not saying I don't want help from the government or for the people that need it, but with the history of this country, I'm just not one to. I think Joe Biden's presidency, to me, my expectation was a return back to normalcy in a sense. And we know normalcy for black people in this country isn't always shiny. But on the other extreme, with what we had to deal with on the other side of it, it's kind of like I think we are forgetting kind of almost what this election was. I think a lot of us can attest to, we didn't necessarily love Joe Biden. We just didn't want Trump to be president. And that's not a strike to Joe Biden. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't think he's done a horrible job as president. I don't think he's done a great job either. I think, once again, he's just very status quo.
In October, the Biden-Harris administration released a report about the advances that they have made for equity and opportunities for black people and communities across the country. One of the things that they boast on is economic opportunity for black families by signing into law the historic American Rescue Plan and implementing robust regulatory reform. President Biden has helped black Americans own and stay in homes. The ARP has expanded to wealth creation through small businesses, ownership in black communities, and President Biden has directed agencies to use federal contracting authority to increase its procurement from small disadvantaged businesses, including black-owned businesses, by 50%, providing immediate relief to black people and families through the American Rescue Plan, provide low and middle-income Americans, and it's projected to cut the black child poverty rate by more than 50%. So if you realize what's going on, your tax credit that you would get at the end of the year, now he's giving it to them monthly.
Yeah, it's like $300.
But
and he also raised the
that's cool,
food stamps.
But it's balancing out because it's expensive as hell outside now.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Like gas is crazy.
And that's
the
why
cost of living is crazy right now.
The plan increased supplemental nutrition, the SNAP benefits, the food stamp benefits by 15% in 2021. Also leveraging federal procurement to narrow the racial wealth gap for black. Recognizing that the federal government spends more than $650 billion each year on purchasing goods and services, President Biden has directed agencies to use federal purchasing power to grow federal contracting. Okay, we read that already. Extending a lifeline to struggling small businesses. You know that you can go out there and you can get a loan. Ensuring black home ownership, get full ensuring black homeowners get full value for their homes. In June, President Biden directed the launch of the first of its kind effort to address inequity in home appraisal and so you know that banks were appraising homes that were owned by black families lower.
Yeah.
Some of the things that President Obama did, we didn't even know he did because he did it and he didn't brag about it because we didn't know how fucked up we were getting done by banks, like overdraft fees and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That was one of the things that President Obama did. So what President Biden is doing, he's got the Department of Housing and Urban Development. They're developing a set of policy recommendations and actions for President Biden to redress racial bias in home appraisals. Combating housing discrimination, helping Black America stay in their homes, providing emergency aid to cover rent. So you know that the rent assistance that was, we talked about this on a previous episode, that was given by the federal government to the states. That was a President Biden thing. After COVID relief funds were released, so you have to access that through your state. Black landowners, he's helping them resolve title issues. 60% of black-owned land in the South is property that passes through inheritance without a will, and the result has historically rendered owners ineligible for USDA programs. So he's going to do a new program that provides funds to assist heirs in resolving ownership of their land. That's a big thing in the South.
Yeah.
So there's a bunch of stuff on here that you might not even know is out there, but you need to read it. Ensuring equitable education opportunity in K through 12 schools and higher education. Historic investment in safety to reopen schools. So, you know, they sent masks and barriers and all kind of stuff to help you go back to school, to protect your kids from COVID. You know that we say that they've given millions of dollars to HBCUs. That's another thing that he did. Improving health outcomes for black communities facing once in a century pandemic and high. So they lowered healthcare costs for millions of low and middle income families, black families, and invested billions to promote equitable vaccine distribution and provide critical supplies. Lowering healthcare costs. Millions of low and middle income black families enrolled in health insurance marketplace saw their premiums lowered or eliminated. So for one time, if you made a certain amount of money, you had to pay this, but they expanded the low income, so some people actually got free health care now.
So basically, Joe Biden's, they've done a lot so far.
Improving black mental health. The president and vice president are also committed to improving maternal health and mental health outcomes, including addressing unacceptable high rates of maternal mortality and morbidity that disproportionately impacts black mothers and families. There's a whole write-up about that. FEMA, they've given money to FEMA. Criminal justice system, they are reforming law enforcement practices. In September, the Department of Justice announced a ban on use of chokeholds and cartoid restraints except where deadly force is necessary, and new restrictions on no-knock warrants, implementing reforms federal law enforcement administratively that the president had called on Congress to enact nationwide through the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act. There's a whole write-up about that. Restore the use of consent decrees to end systematic police conduct. Improving prosecutorial guidance, prevent unduly harsh sentencing. Supporting legislation to reform racist disparities in sentencing. Executive order limiting the use of private prisons. Support for community violence intervention. So there's a bunch of stuff on here. Support for re-entry of returning citizens. Addressing domestic violent extremism. There's a bunch of stuff on here, like I said, that if you don't come across it, if you're not caught up in it, if you're not, you won't even know it's there, and you still might know.
And that's why I say, like, I know when it comes to stuff like this, I do a little bit of research, but for the most part, I'm a headline reader, and I think a lot of people are.
Well, I'm gonna post this particular information on our Facebook page. So if you guys are on Facebook, go to Connecting the Dots, like our page. I've seen a couple of people liking it. It's just easier to put stuff like that on Facebook because it's on Instagram. There's no way to.
But you know now on Instagram, on the stories anyway, you can put links.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll add the link to this on Instagram. But yeah, and then we can talk about that, and you know, some of it is fluffed up, you know what I'm saying? Or if you've had problems accessing any of this, let us know. You know what I'm saying? We will research it and we will find out. And also, you know, the federal government is just a piece of the puzzle. You have to hold your state accountable. Another great thing that happened in Georgia, the Roddy and the father and the son that killed Ahmaud Arbery were all convicted. So that was a mess, that trial.
Justice was served. And then the lady is on trial now, or she's getting charged now too, ain't she?
Yep.
District attorney. What was she?
The old DA, yeah.
But I mean, I saw a meme going around, like, I think it was Attorney Griggs put it up, but it was saying that they didn't go to jail because it was wrong.
They didn't go to jail because they saw it. They went to jail because we saw it.
Yeah, because remember, they had the information.
Yeah, they had it.
They went out of their way to help them.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, people forget about that at the beginning. Like, you know, this was really a lot of corruption going on. Like, you know, addressing this young man being murdered, you know, by what do they call it? Citizen's arrest. They felt that was the excuse they used in killing him, but.
Yeah, because they felt like they were a part of law enforcement. Because before this, remember, there was a law in Georgia that you can do citizen's arrest.
Mm-hmm. So, you know, it's definitely good to see justice served there because
even the dude with that recorded it, man.
Yeah.
He even got time. Like,
it's crazy, man. And I think they say he may be facing some other charges also because of, you know, when they did when they confiscated their phones, they found some other stuff in his phone that he has to answer for also. So, you know, you guys can research that if you want to, but, you know.
I'm not surprised.
I think it was a little bit of child pornography.
Shit. Which one is this?
The dude that recorded it.
Yeah, the guy.
Roddy?
Roddy, yeah.
Oh, you know they shut his GoFundMe down. They were trying to get like $300,000. They raised $700. Oh, wow. And they shut it down because you're not allowed to raise money for the defense of a person that was convicted of a violent crime.
Oh, okay. Wow.
That's great. Hey, how y'all feel about the debt collectors commenting on y'all photos?
They did?
Nah, I'm saying I saw the headline that they can reach out to you through social media and text messages and all that.
Yeah.
Now.
I don't care.
I think it's gonna be.
You're gonna get rejected on any platform you hit me up on.
That's what I said. They just gonna find more ways to get told if I ain't got it. I ain't got it.
Right. You just gonna get more ways of me telling you no. So the rules which for the debt collectors can now use email, text, social media to seek repayment. This is on our Instagram page. If you don't mind, stop what you're doing and follow CTD_ATL. The rules, which were approved last year by the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau and took effect on Tuesday, address the use of newer communication technologies in debt collection and establish record retention requirements. This means collection agencies can now utilize email, text, and social media methods to seek repayment for unpaid debts. According to Kathleen Cranger, the former CFPB director who oversaw the rule changes, the debt collection system was archaic and needed to be developed into a method that worked for consumers and industry in the modern world. Advances in technology in particular have transformed how we communicate with cell phones, enabling us to take a call or receive the text 24 hours a day in our neighborhood or on the other side of the globe. But debt collectors and consumers have been trapped in a time warp. Oh, well, you can hit me up on any of my 3 Instagram pages.
I ain't got it.
And if I ain't got it, I ain't got it.
I can see folks now making TikToks of bill collectors calling them more like hitting them on social media. Oh, man.
Yeah, that's I don't care. I just don't care. But yeah, to your point, Jay Black, the former DA who got booked on charges of obstruction in the Ahmaud Arbery case. She's the ex-Glenn County DA. Her name is Jackie Johnson. So read up about her and her legal woes because she wanted to cover up for the McMichaels.
What did whatchamacallit already get sentenced?
Who?
The cat from George Floyd. Yeah, he got sentenced in the end.
Yeah, the cop?
Yeah, I thought it was something else going on with that case.
I don't know. But yeah. That's a lot.
So it's been a minute.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
It's definitely been a while.
Yeah.
We just hit the tip of the iceberg, y'all. We could sit here and we could keep talking. I think our hour is about up, though.
Did y'all watch the Versus?
Oh! Yes, I watched it. Of course I did. That's my era.
I didn't listen to it, but I watched it.
I was looking and I said, Jay Black, is this how these people from Ohio act?
Man, Busy was up there tripping.
Did you watch it?
I seen highlights.
I saw the
didn't watch
fight.
the whole thing.
No, I actually was sitting there watching it.
I want to go back and watch it, though.
I set my alarm because, first of all, I'm a huge Juicy J fan. Mm-hmm. I don't know if y'all know that about
most
me.
underrated.
I love Juicy
great
J.
ever.
Yeah.
I love Juicy J. Juicy J is the father of trap music.
Yeah.
He had Lil Wayne. They had Lil Jon.
They brought the main out.
Yeah.
Terrence Howard.
They did. I missed that part.
Yeah, Terrence Howard came out and
Called out here
performed.
for a pimp.
Okay, so you know how Juicy
Main,
J's
the real man.
you know how Juicy J's ad libs is yeah ho.
Yeah.
Okay, so I said yeah ho in the live. Instagram shut me off,
Ah, dang.
so I couldn't even watch the rest of it.
Just like that.
They shut me off for a couple days.
Ah, dang. They have. That's one thing. Once again, you see, like they have no. They got robots.
They're
doing
culturally
this.
clueless,
Yeah.
even if it is people. Right.
It's kinda like,
So what they did is Hard Out Here for a Pimp.
I don't know the songs he did. I think probably more. So
had to
more than
be.
likely.
yeah, I'm about to say.
He had some hits though on
like
that movie.
Yo, that's one of my favorite movies.
Yeah, he had some hits.
That's one of my favorite movies.
Whoop that trick.
Whoop
they
that
got-
trick.
Yeah,
Another had to do
that
that.
was my movie. That is, I watch that movie every time it comes on. It's like that, Baby Boy.
Man.
So the dude, which one is the one with the beads? I knew when the dude still had the beads at the end of his braids, we were in for trouble.
Who? Oh, Busy.
The Bone Thug.
Busy.
Busy Bone has beads.
That's the one that was fighting.
No, the one that was fighting is the light skin one.
You talking about the brown skin? Is that ain't crazy? That's
I
what is
don't
it?
know.
What are they? If you
don't
tell me
know
all
all
the
the
names,
Lazy, crazy, busy, crazy.
It might be
busy.
lazy.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I think that's lazy. That's some Cleveland niggas though.
Are they country like that?
It ain't country, just Cleveland, just different. Like, shout out to all my Cleveland people. You ever watch BMF? Y'all watch BMF?
Yeah.
No,
So you know how they be having the memes and shit.
I don't have that.
So with the different cities,
Yeah.
the nigga Lamar, that's Cleveland. That's a Cleveland nigga. Like just off. Them niggas is off. Them niggas is just off.
So they different.
Shout out to my
Like-
Cleveland people, like but y'all off.
But
Y'all different.
Oh man.
that verses was the realest verses. Like
They said that was hip hop. Like you feel me?
that
Like-
was the best. I mean, everyone I say is the best. I know I do.
Dipset, I feel like at first it was the Gucci and
That was
Jeezy
hip-hop, too.
number one. And then the Dipset versus Locks, that took over as the number one.
Yeah.
And then this one just, you feel me?
Then the KRS One and Big Daddy
that was
Kane.
that was like
That was me. That was my era.
yeah, that was like I think that was just like the epitome of hip hop. Like,
Right.
The actual art of hip hop.
Right.
Yeah. But the Dipset, the Jeezy, and it's just the hip hop, like the personality of hip hop.
Yo, what's Crunk ain't dead, Crunk ain't dead.
Yeah.
Crunk, oh my God, I love that song.
Dude's he from Memphis.
The dude that sings that,
Yeah.
yo,
I tell people all the time, cause like
I love that song, and when he came out, I lost it because that is my song. And when he threw the water, talking about Gangsta Boo, yo.
But I heard before the verses. See, I ain't seen none of the back and forth before the verses, but they said Busy was kind of going at them before the verses because I guess he's super spiritual now. And he was
because
getting
he
on
was
them
telling
about
them
their
that they-
name and they demonic, they worship the devil. And now they
Okay,
tryna
so
change their brand and
when
all
I
that.
first became a 3-6 Mafia fan, I got convicted from the Holy Spirit, and I was like, I can't be listening to that. Like 3-6, really, y'all? But then I started reading and watching their interviews. Their parents are pastors. DJ Paul's father was a pastor, and Juicy J's father was a pastor. He goes on videos and he thanks Jesus like he's not a devil worshiper, but he recognizes the fact that people relate to
it's marketing.
horror.
Yeah, like it's
All those beats and all the music that the undertones of the music that they use is like from horror movies, and it just bangs. And so he took that and he ran with it. He talks about drugs. He talks about stuff. He talks about sex. He talks about having fun.
Just like the rest
but do you think he does it? Like, this guy it got to be 50. He got to be damn near 50. He looks fucking amazing.
Yeah.
He might be telling y'all to do drugs.
That's a lot,
but I don't think he's doing it.
Even when people say that with Future, like, Future's not. Like, me personally, like, these artists talk about drugs and they probably taking them.
Not like that.
In order to perform at a high level, you can't be on drugs like that. Like, it's just impossible. Like, it's impossible.
Right.
Like, so
right.
I can believe that he's definitely promoting it, but he might. I don't think he on that. Like you say, Juicy J, he still look young.
But I also think too, that's the difference between. I think especially with what you do, Jay Black, and like the access that you've had to the entertainment game and what I do. Like, I think that's one of the things you see real quick. What's different. What's on camera, you know what I'm saying, what's off camera. And I think a lot of people don't get to see that. So they do get caught up in, the perceptions of, 3 6 Mafia, Devil Worship, stuff like that. But, like, you know what I'm saying, if you hang around Juicy J every day or you on set with him, you know how nice he is. You know how respectful he is.
They had a reality show. I don't know if you guys remember that.
From the hood to Hollywood.
Yeah.
When they first won the Grammy.
Yeah.
It was on BT and it was actually pretty good.
It was great. And they,
they let you see, like, who they are.
A lot of people got to understand this is the entertainment industry.
It's entertainment.
And these are characters.
And
all they are characters. And, I think 21 Savage was saying that. He was like, man, these cops, they trying to, even with hip hop, they try to use the lyrics against it. He said, man, look at me like Scarface. I'm Al Pacino. I'm just a rapper. You feel me? I'm just, this is the music I'm making, but that don't mean I'm living it. And they could be, but still, they it's entertainment.
You look at people like C Murder. And
but
there's some niggas that's out here really living.
You look at
shit,
people like, you know what I'm saying? It's a couple of these cats that.
But you gonna find that in the arena.
DMX, you know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? I think, like, once again, with hip hop being such a black centric, you know what I'm saying? Experience. Like, once again, it's just certain connotations that come with it, and we do see the bad side of hip hop where people are out here dying or getting killed, and so, like, that's why I always tell artists, you got to be very mindful of what you want to do, who you want to be,
what you putting out there.
Yeah,
we've seen a lot of rappers, like from Nipsey, from Biggie, from Pop, like they spoke a lot of shit into existence. Yeah. And then even R.P. the Young Dolph. A lot of these guys be on the right path. Yeah. But shit from the past catch up. That shit don't leave.
Right.
Like, and sometimes as a little context, like, also, like, because I'm from about an hour outside of Memphis, like, where I grew up. And, like, Memphis is just a different place, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, how you were talking about Cleveland.
Yeah, so is Georgia.
Yeah. Like, how you saying Cleveland Negroes? Memphis Negroes, they just different. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I love them to death. I got homies in Memphis.
Just like New Orleans, like,
yeah, but they
there's just certain,
And it's sad because, like, once again, like, I'm a huge Young Dolph fan. And he was doing awesome stuff for the city, with the city, like, you know what I'm saying? He was on the right track, but, like, once again, once you engulfed in a certain lifestyle, or you get a perception of, because, like, Dolph was a family dude, like, he loved his kids, like,
and they have a beautiful chocolate family. You know, I'm so.
He got a strong black woman. His
woman,
like,
she's beautiful. Their kids are beautiful.
All the stuff we asked for out of black men, like, you know what I'm saying?
He was doing
not
it.
saying he was perfect, like, we all, like, but, like, once again, for what he stood for and what he stood on. And it's on record. You can go back and he talked about it all the time. But, like, once again, in a city like Memphis not that big. Dolph, everybody knew Dolph, and, like, you seen him coming, like, all his cars camouflaged, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he not even trying to hide. Like, he like, I'm Memphis, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he one of them people that walk around and shouldn't have no issues with nobody, you know what I'm saying? But it don't take nothing but one person being
right.
Jealous. It don't take but one person, like, you know.
All it take is a hater. Like, it's sad.
Same
it's
with
sad
Nip.
that it happened at home. Like, the Nip shit. Nip, that was sad because it happened in front of everything he built. You built all this. You damn near, but,
haters.
And it just,
and that's why I don't understand.
But you speak stuff, though. Like, that's the thing about rap.
And that's true.
You speak stuff. That's why, I used to want to be a rapper. Everybody that was black wanted to be a rapper. Right. But it gets to a point, like,
that's a lot.
You be saying stuff in raps, and sometimes you might just be playing around. You might be drunk, but you saying this shit, so you putting that shit in the atmosphere. So it was like, man, I kind of was like, no, I don't want to be no rapper because I'm talking too much.
And it's amplified because of how many people hear it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And life and death are in the power of the tongue.
Yeah.
But like that, I tell you, it's a reason hip hop is the only genre of music where you hear people killing each other, or like not saying stuff don't happen in other stuff, but like it's glorified.
We glamorify,
yeah. And so it's kind of like it gets to a point to where it's a reason why. You know what I'm saying? They come in the hood and just dropping millions of dollars on young men, like to promote, like, you know what I'm saying? If I
lifestyle.
If you from my neighborhood and Interscope come give you, you know what I'm saying, $5-6 million to talk the shit that you talking, why would I go make a positive record? You know what I'm saying? When this is what they giving the money out for? So it's just a perpetual thing, and that's why, you know, in the entertainment game, I'm a strong proponent of. Making your own route, like, you know what I'm saying, because that's what people, all the people that are great made their own wave. They didn't hop in and, you know what I'm saying, do what everybody else was doing. And I think it is time for a positive rejuvenation in hip hop. You ain't gotta. That's one of the reasons when we were little, I like Will Smith so much. He would rap, it'd be bumping.
But there was a whole, you know, recently that there was an interview on Drink Champs. I'm not even gonna say his name.
You still not rocking with the guy.
He was talking shit about the backpack rappers, but the backpack rappers wasn't talking about killing nobody. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, but honestly, well, if you listen, when you really listen to the hip hop back in the day, and I know we talk shit all the time, but
it was pure.
The thing about them, they was even NWA. I was just talking about this to somebody, like they were considered gangster rappers, but they were activists. Like they weren't like talking about killing each other.
They were no
about
nonsense.
Fuck the police. They were talking about real issues.
Right.
And because these white people label them gangster rappers because they real vulgar with what they're saying and getting that point across, but they're still trying to make a difference.
Yeah.
I mean, you got even KRS-One, like all those guys was dropping knowledge. Tribe Called Quest, all those guys was dropping knowledge. Like, if you really listen to the music.
Yeah. And the thing about hip hop, like, cause like once again, I like gangster. It's room for gangster rap, but I would tell people like, it's so many people out here. I see it firsthand every day, trying to be a gangster rapper. And they not no gangster. Like that's it's like if you a gangster ass dude and you want to go in the studio and lay some gangster ass shit, I'm all for it.
But I never understood, if you really live in that life, why would you want to go live?
Why do you want people to know? Why you bringing attention to it?
Like once again, y'all forgetting about hip hop is built on competition, show off, and ideally, I think the violence part comes in from it's a bad shoot off of the competition. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I think once you look at what the essence of hip hop is, you have to understand why things are like they are. It's almost like having a child and not telling it no, and then it getting grown and you like, nah, it's gonna look at you like you're crazy. It's kind of like, you know, so I think we just gotta be careful with, you know what I'm saying, what comes with the entertainment game and letting people know, like, yo, like, once again, this is entertainment. Like, let's keep it on tracks, like, you know what I'm saying. But, like, once again, people have real life beef. Like, you know what I'm saying, that creeps into, you know, some other stuff. A whole nother thing.
But, to go back to the verses, it was even good to see, like, niggas fought, got it off their chest, and he came out and apologized, and they just kept the show moving. Like
they kept the show Swiss going. Beats was like, y'all want the other half of this money, y'all better make it right.
He was heated because he was mad that they was taking forever to come out. He was saying they paid them so much money. Like, he was like, man, y'all ain't made this much money in years. We done paid y'all for 10 shows.
Juicy J was throwing the money out.
Oh, they
talking about Bone, like. Juicy J paid for
Juicy J.
He make that type of music, so you gotta expect.
He makes that kind of music, and he makes that kind of money. These are Grammy-winning artists. Your price is not the same price after you win a Grammy.
Bone don't have no Grammys.
They should, but I don't know. They don't act like it. They was acting like.
I think people don't realize how Bone had a great run, but it wasn't long.
And that music doesn't age well. I mean, are you really gonna be listening to bum 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 bum?
I mean, you got First of the Month.
Yeah, I'm about to
say they got some
just
classics
because of what it is. Like
Ruggish Bone, that's always gonna be.
You got the Notorious,
but the Notorious Thugs. Yeah, but those are the songs we want to hear.
Crossroads.
The other 40 songs they have that sound just like those three, I don't want to hear those.
Yeah. And then one thing, you had to be a super Bone fan to.
But the crowd, you gotta also understand they went in LA, and Bone Thugs got brought out by Eazy-E. So they were more relatable. Mm-hmm. The 3 6 Mafia is a down south, dirty south act, and so the crowd wasn't as engaged, but record numbers.
Oh yeah.
3 6 got that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't know any of those. I knew those songs that you said, but I knew all the Juicy J songs. But I'm a huge Juicy J fan.
And then not only when it comes to 3 6 Mafia, not only do you have Juicy J, but like each of these guys delve off into their own career and had hits. Like when you look at Project Pat, when you look at Crunchy Black, when you look at like all these other guys.
Project Pat.
Yeah, he came
Project
out.
Pat came out.
He was with 3 6 Mafia?
Yeah.
He was Juicy J
Memphis.
produced his album.
He's in the camp, yeah.
Okay.
But he was never signed to that record label.
Okay.
But I think he's like Juicy J's stepbrother or something.
Yeah, like once again, they all family, like you know what I'm saying. So it was one of those things to where like the way they came up, like everything just happened to be in.
And like you say, Memphis is small. They brought an 8-bar MJG. I saw that.
So it's real family oriented. Really, the only person Memphis don't F with like that is Yo Gotti. Like you know what I'm saying. And he's a Memphis great, but like Yo Gotti is notorious for not getting along with nobody in Memphis. And then you see like you'll see 3 6 Mafia, Young Dolph. You'll see you know what I'm saying 3 6 Mafia and everybody else in Memphis, but like. You know,
they do have Grammys.
Yeah, they got
best rap performance by duo or group in 1991, and in 2011 they got the best solo performance.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's just certain niggas make it out the hood and they still they still go back. Like, they still go back. Like that's one thing I do know about Cleveland people. You know, I went to Ohio State with a lot of Cleveland people. They had graduated and they going right back to Cleveland. Yeah. Like they cool with living in Cleveland, like, but in Cleveland, I went to Cleveland probably like once or twice. Man, it's like gray up there. It's cloudy.
Is it north of Cincinnati?
No, it's north. It's super north.
You sound like
it's closer to
You sound like Joakim Noah. Who wants to go on vacation in
Cleveland? That shit crazy. It's Cleveland ain't far from New York. It's closer to New York than.
I didn't know that.
It's like by Youngstown and all that.
Okay.
It's all the way North Ohio.
Wow.
Like Lake Erie, it's up by Michigan. Lake Erie you can see Lake Erie from up there.
Okay. You know, we from the South, we ain't good with all that geography up there.
I'm from the North, but I just, like, my Ohio knowledge is, like, I go to Pennsylvania and I turn around. I don't know.
Yeah, right, Pennsylvania right there. Yeah, it ain't too far from Cleveland. That's all up north.
Oh, okay.
Cincinnati, we the outcasts of Ohio.
Really?
Because we all the way at the bottom. Like, they look at us as the South. They call us country and all that.
Oh, wow.
Really? Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm looking now.
I'm looking at Cincinnati like it's a bustling, you know what I'm saying?
No, it is. It's 3 big cities, Cincinnati, Cleveland, Columbus.
But where's Akron in there?
That's up by Cleveland. Everything is up by Cleveland. The only thing about us is Dayton. It's Dayton, Cincinnati, then...
Oh, there's Akron. Akron is by Cincinnati?
Nah, Dayton is.
Okay, I got you.
Oh, Ohio is pretty big.
Yeah, everything else is up north.
Oh, wow. Look how far Cleveland is from Columbus.
About an hour and a half. Columbus is the middle part.
Okay.
From Cincinnati to Cleveland.
I got some friends that stay
Cleveland is not far from Pittsburgh.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's up north.
It's far.
Yo.
It's by Canada.
We need to go to Ohio. We got a project, J Black. We're going to talk about it.
Everybody from Ohio is light skinned.
So.
Out of nowhere.
When his friend came, and I was sitting at the table with them, and I just kept looking back and forth, and I was like, "Are all the niggas in Ohio light skinned?"
This is so prejudiced. I love it.
All right, y'all. We gonna wrap it up. Make sure you follow us on Instagram, CTD_ATL. Like our page on Facebook, Connecting the Dots. If y'all want to tell them y'all Instagram or anything, let me know. Innovative Black Station. Make sure you follow Jay Black's page. He also has our sister show. Tell them what's going on with that.
Black on. We wrapped up right before Thanksgiving. We wrapped up season 3. So right now we just in the process of working it before we start working on the next season. Just building on that. For Connecting the Dots, if anybody want to advertise, we
need to hit some of the Black-owned group people up to advertise on the show and have them come on once a month or something.
We got advertising slots, so if anybody interested in that, of course we got Soul Mississippi Candle, but you know we looking to expand. It's a new year coming. We coming up on 5 years.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, we looking to expand.
So make sure you check out Soul Mississippi Candles. You want to give them the address where they can look and order them?
For sure. Everybody go to soulmississippi.com. That is SEAUXMS.com. Make sure to get your orders in before the holidays so we can get them to you in nice, proper fashion so you don't have to sweat before the holidays. Make sure everybody get their gift. But yeah, go check us out. We got a few surprises coming up for y'all soon on the site, so
yes,
make sure to stay tuned.
I love a surprise.
We'll try to keep the quality coming for you guys.
And shout out, and when I see you got your Alpha. When is y'all Founders Day? What, yesterday?
Yeah, so Alpha Phi Fraternity Incorporated,
yeah.
Founded December 4th, 1906. Yesterday was December 4th, so shout out to all my frat brothers out here doing good work, for the frat, we, once again, it's a celebration,
Nice.
Nice.
Shout out.
Y'all the oldest, right?
Huh?
Y'all the oldest?
Out of the Divine Nine, we were, first.
The first founder.
Yeah, so,
Well, congratulations to you guys. We will see you all on our next episode. Make sure you check us out. Peace.
Peace.